But that PSA was I think was a really neat addition.
And I would imagine, Dr. Belcher, it's really enhanced not only the sports and not only the video boards, but it's just the whole experience, whether it's a Friday night or a Saturday morning, whatever sport it is, the experience has become better at Columbia Public Schools, sporting events, or whatever you want to talk about. The experience has just grown, hasn't it?
Yes, and that is what I think is the cool factor. I was more giddy than a lot of people was about this program. I just thought this is going to be cool. We're going to have replay at our football games. We're going to be able to put the pictures of the student up that made the tackle, or put the band, the drill team in the big lights, be able to show those things. Because kids put a lot of time and energy into these programs. Our parents fundraise. They come out and support the team. We'd like to give them a quality experience and at the same time create opportunities to raise revenue for the district. So it really has been a win-win. And when you go to our football games, our soccer matches, the different things that are going on those fields now with our baseball and softball fields getting that, we have video boards in the gymnasium. It's just a cool deal, and the kids will remember that.
And Chad, as a parent, I'm sure that you can speak to that as well, because it's more of a magnified experience for the kids to participate in. It's not just the way it used to be, it's much more right now.
Oh, I think so. And I think from being from a college town, they get to see some of the things going to the University of Missouri games, and now they're kind of like them. And I think they get excited about that. For me, it's even better because as a parent of a middle schooler, as a junior high student now, we were feeling the pain of athletic cuts. And now we get to see those kids get to have those sports back in those schools, which helps athletics across the board for our whole community, whether it's school sports or club sports or all those things. I think it's a big deal, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
And Adam and Just, I want to talk to you guys as well. I mean, the experience again, we'll start with you, Adam. The unbelievable, it used to be, okay, let's go, we got a soccer game. 20 years ago, there's a soccer game, you got parents there, and now you're getting students, you got things that are going on involved with the soccer game. Just talk about the difference that it's made for you guys.
I think the number one thing is that you get parents that get to be parents, and they get to come and enjoy watching their kids play, and instead of having to go out in the community and try to raise funds, because it does take money to put jerseys on their backs and balls on the field, and all that equipment takes a fee of some sort. So by having this partnership, it's allowed parents to come. When they enter the games, they get a media guide. That guide has their child's photo, favorite quotes, just inspirations and aspirations that they have for themselves. And so, like I said, I think the biggest benefit for parents is they get to now sit back, watch their kids enjoy the sports that they love, and let the fundraising take care of itself.
And Justin, I'd imagine for you as the new football coach here at Battle High School, I mean, it's just got to be so exciting to come to your facility. The school is amazing, the gymnasium's amazing, the football field, all the athletic, amazing. For a first-year head coach, you got to just be saying, I'm dreaming.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's like, pinch me, is it real? That's still, how I feel. And, it's the atmosphere that's been created, in our high schools now. It feels big time. It feels like you're going to a college atmosphere in these games. You walk in and the video boards are the first thing you see. You have the instant replay. I mean, you get to hear the call on the field. The refs have headsets now, so the stands are getting to hear what the call was. So if they don't agree in the stands, they can at least hear what the call was on the field. So for us as coaches, it's been great as far as what it's created as an atmosphere. And to piggyback off what Adam said, it's allowed us to do more of the coaching side of things and really handle our program, because we know that the big things, the funds are going to be put back into our accounts.
And that really is important, because in the old days it was, hey, let's sell pizzas, or we're selling cookie dough or whatever. You don't really have to worry about that anymore.
Right, and there's so much that goes into athletics. A lot of people think you just show up and you play, but the money is what makes it all go. And so we got to have those funds, and to have the partners that we have that are so generous and giving us the money, it's been great.
And Bruce, you kind of had to look at this instead of athletics. It almost had to become a business, didn't it?
Yeah, we had to model a business to make sure our partners got impressions at all three locations, soon to be, and the media guides, as Adam alluded to. We just needed to make sure it was a good opportunity for our partners that way too, on getting those impressions out.
And have you seen results already? I mean, From where you were 2 years ago to right now, can you even imagine, can you fathom where you've come?
You know what, it's been a leap, because now we've got the scoreboards for the outdoors paid for completely, and now we're going to start giving money back to the programs. We started giving some money back earlier in the last 2 years, and so we're going to see a lot more go back into the individual programs. We've got programs like cross country that had no booster club. They had parent groups. Now they're getting close to $1,000 to $1,500 back, and you know, they're really quite giddy about it.
And that's another thing that kids get excited about: new uniforms, new shoes, new helmets, new everything like that. And Christine, I'm sure that you've heard from people, and parents especially, who are just thrilled at what's happened.
Yeah, and I have a son who's in junior high, and he had to wear an old basketball uniform and didn't care much for it, so I told him, just give it time, son. Yeah, you know, I have heard both good and bad about that aspect of the program, you know, and maybe not bad so much, but maybe skepticism, like, are we really going to see this money? And I always have to remind people, did you see it before? Because some of these small groups, like what Bruce said, they weren't able to raise any money. And so really, so if we can give them $1,500, it is $1,500 more than they had before. And over time, with, you know, kind of some steamrolling and potentially getting some more groups even more involved, we do still have some fundraising going on in the district. And I think that what it's allowed our parents to do is to stop focusing on printing a media guide that at one school was one way and another school was another. One team was showcased at one school, another school it was just one side piece of paper. So there's a little bit more equity when it comes to that, I believe, based on the events I've gone to. And it'll allow parents to be a little bit more strategic on how they do spend their time and their volunteer hours.
And I would imagine with 3 high schools now, had the status quo continued, it would have been even more of a gap between the 3.
Well, yeah, because you have to give Battle new equipment to start off. So the immediate perception is going to be, and I'm sure some of that exists now, oh, they got all new stuff. Well, they need it because they're just starting. They can't use, you know, Gentry Middle School uniforms or Oakland uniforms, or, you know, they need the new things. And so then that automatically creates inequity. But I think some of that is getting, as we start to get closer to the opening and people see some of the give back starting to occur, that will become less and less the issue.
And I would imagine, Superintendent, you hear from parents too a lot and hear the good side and the bad side of this. What are some of the things you've heard?
Well, I think at first, like Christine said, there was some skepticism, but we had to pay for the billboards. You can't have a high-quality advertising program. And we had to replace the old scoreboards. We had to replace the old scoreboards. They were defunct. They weren't working. So we had to do something. We were going to spend money one way or the other. So we took the leap to buy the best quality available, geared up for the program, and that would also serve the advertising as well, but you had to pay for it. So we kept sort of telling coaches, just hang in there with us, it's coming, and we're starting to distribute that. And I believe we hit over the $500,000 mark this year. And next year we'll be distributing lots of money into each athletic program, and we'll get past that skepticism. Matter of fact, I've had Bruce sign us up that we're going to give out big fake checks, just so they understand that we appreciate you waiting. They didn't lose money in the interim, they just were not getting the money that they knew was coming. So we're at that tipping point now, and that's exciting. And I want to add one more piece. We want people to come and experience their sons and daughters on the courts, in the fields, doing those things, and not have to do all that fundraising. But at the same time, we still strongly encourage what I call social fundraising. Things that aren't selling and raffling, but are hog roast and things like that bring community together to support the kids and support the program. Those things are very valuable, but they have a value in and of themselves, and they bring some more money into the program. But those are the kinds of things we want to see happening. Leave the rest to us. And I tell you what, I've heard from so many business owners that simply say, thank you. I was being overrun with people just asking. And we'll grow this down in the middle school. We'll make this bigger. And we already are having phone call after phone call from other school districts wanting to replicate what we've done here in Columbia.
I was going to ask you,